Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Every Monday, we're live right here on YouTube. When we're not live, we're over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Go check it on out. But we are live here, and I'm answering as many Royal Caribbean Cruise questions as we can right here on YouTube, starting with the most important question. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean Cruise? Type it in chat right now. Let's count down together. I am at a mere 4 more days until my next cruise on Wonder of the Seas. It's a quick 2-night cruise. Royal Caribbean's doing its christening of Wonder of the Seas, and they've invited me to be there, and I will definitely be taking advantage of that. Nice little 2-hour jaunt, but then don't cry for me, Argentina, because then it's just a short couple days until I get back on the ship again the following Sunday. So not too bad on there. Love it. A lot of people already in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you all here. Love seeing all these countdowns. Great. Before the chat began, we actually had 2 super chats come in, so I want to say thank you to Shay and Jay. Their message was, book the unlimited dining package on Independence of the Seas. How does Izumi sushi work with my 5-year-old? Does he get a credit towards the meal, or is he completely complimentary? And the answer is he's completely complimentary. Children 5 and under are free at any specialty restaurant, so you don't need to buy them a dining package at all. You just let them know they're 5, and they won't be paying anything for it. And then GM Carilla, hope I said that right, with another super chat. Thank you, GM Carilla. With the key, can you be last off the ship? The answer is yes, but you don't need the key for that. The key is actually the opposite. It allows you to get off the ship potentially earlier, not later. When you get your time to disembark the ship with the key, and forget the key for a second. When you get your time to disembark the ship, that is the earliest you can disembark the ship, because that'll be when your luggage is ready, right? That isn't to say that you don't have to get off at that time. You could stay on later on. So if your goal is to stay on the ship as late as possible, you don't need the key for that. You can do that without the key, quite frankly. So hope that makes sense there. Josh Carruthers coming in with an epic super chat. Woo! Lucky 13 more days till the epic Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise on Wonder of the Seas. Cannot wait, my friend. I'm very, 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 very excited for our next Royal Caribbean Blog group cruise. It's going to be amazing. Thank you, my friend, for the super chat. I appreciate it very much. Very, very generous. Thank you, Josh. Always amazing in here. Joe Shaloski has our next question for us. Joe, thank you for the super chat. Good evening, Matt. I'm enjoying my first cruise on Anthem at this very moment. Thanks for the tips. That's awesome. Hope you're having a great time on Anthem. I'm very jealous you're on a cruise ship right now. Enjoy it. Thank you for your generosity. Eric just reached platinum status. Congratulations. How do I get discounts on the balcony rooms? Is it automatic when I plug my Crown and Anchor number into the reservation? Yeah, basically. But Eric, what you want to do is work with the travel agent. I think you probably already heard me talk about this, but just let your travel agent know they can apply the discount. Keeping in mind, by the way, sometimes the Crown and Anchor discount may not be combinable with other discounts that are out there. But yeah, basically, once you have it in there, it should automatically go in. So, Pascal, I wish you were coming on the group cruise. It would have been awesome to sail together, but we will find a time. We will find a time. It will happen. Just not in 13 more days. J Firefighter 1 says, can I use my onboard credit card from Royal Caribbean credit card to purchase drinks on board? Oh, can I use onboard credit from my Royal Caribbean credit card to purchase drinks on board? The answer is yes. Basically, with the Royal Caribbean credit card, you can redeem your points before the cruise for things like onboard credit, right? You can also save up those points, get a free cruise later on. But if you wanted to do it for onboard credit, absolutely. Remember, Jay, when you apply, when you have onboard credit in general, whether it's from Royal Caribbean's credit card, whether you get it from your travel agent, whether you get it from Royal Caribbean directly, because there's a booking promotion that's out there, you don't apply onboard credit to specific purchases. You don't say, I'd like to buy a drink and I have onboard credit to use. Not how that works. Basically, onboard credit is a credit against your onboard account. If during the course of your 7-night cruise, you spend $100 and you have a $50 onboard credit, you'll owe Royal Caribbean $50 at the end of the day. You don't apply it to certain things. It's just a statement credit, like you get it from either credit card, when you do a refund of something. Same basic idea there. So the short answer is yes. You just heard the longer answer there as to just want to make sure it's crystal clear on that. Jeff Leonard coming in with an epic, holy moly, super chat. Woo! Thank you, Jeff. No question. Looking forward to meeting you and the rest of these fine people in 13 days. It's crazy, Jeff, that we have not met yet. 13 more days. Wonder of the Seas. I can't wait. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to meet Jeff and be like, hey, my name is Jeff. Jeff, nice to meet you. Jeff Leonard. Jeff Leonard? Be awesome. It's just There's so many people in our community here at Royal Caribbean Blog that I've just known for a long time. Pascal's a great example. As we're talking Pascal, who's one of our moderators here. I've known Pascal for years. I've never met her before, but you know her, you know them from being online. It's just kind of a weird nuance, but yeah. Kevin wants to know, KB, what's up? We're at Symphony for a back-to-back. We bring 4 bottles of wine at the start of the week. The answer is yeah. If they question you, let them know. You might have to show them your second set sale pass, but you should be good after that. They're usually pretty good about that. Wesley, thank you for the super chat. Is it best to give your wine and water to the porter in one bag? No, negative. The opposite, Wesley. Don't give it to them. You want to carry that on with you. If you give them the wine and the water, it will get flagged by security because there's the X-ray machine. They see bottles. They don't know if it's alcohol or water. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Bring it on board with you. You must bring it on board the in your carry-on, and you're good to go on that. So thank you for the super chat, buddy. Courtney wants to know, what is the best parking option in Port Canaveral? At the port, for the convenience. It's not the cheapest. It's not expensive. Don't get me wrong. Yes, offsite is cheaper, but the convenience factor, Courtney, in my opinion, is worth it every single time. Park on site. You'll thank me later when you drive home much quicker. Shane, second to last Royal Caribbean Blog live until a 7-night cruise on Symphony of the Seas. Nice. Love it. Trevor wants to know, if I prepay gratuities before the rate took effect, Royal Caribbean. Wait, all right, let me try this again. If I prepay gratuities before the rate increase took effect and Royal up now from balcony to junior suite, just pay the new gratuity rate. Oh, that's a great question, Trevor, because Trevor prepaid gratuities at the non-suite rate, but junior suite is a different one. Boy, I don't know. I could see it going both ways, my friend. I think here's my expectation. My expectation is you'd get automatically kicked. I think you would end up paying the new rate, but I don't know. I really don't know. Honestly, that scenario is such an edge case scenario, meaning it's just such a unlikely scenario to occur because, gratuity rates rarely change. And when they do change, I don't know. That's a great question. You got me. As the tree said to the lumberjack, I'm stumped. Laurel wants to know, what are the additional charges with a 3-meal package? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Laurel. With the 3-dine package, you pay for your specialty restaurants, and you get your meals paid for in those 3 restaurants there. I'm not sure what you mean beyond that. Let's see here. Ooh, Carrie wants to know, best beach for vows. Labadee, San Juan, Charlotte Amalie. No question about it. Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas's beaches are way better than the best. Yeah, I would definitely do that one. No question about it. Kathy Geiger from MEI Travel. Hello. Welcome. Kason wants to know, I booked a balcony room on Wonder. I chose not to pay the extra amount to pick the room. How do I know if the balcony will be facing the ocean or inside of the ship? Good question. So the answer actually is based on what type of balcony did you book. If it's simply, it will literally say, when you look at your booking, it will either say ocean view balcony or Central Park balcony or boardwalk balcony. If it's ocean balcony, you're facing the ocean. If it's Central Park, you're facing inwards. Boardwalk facing inwards. That's it. So hopefully that makes sense. If you booked a guarantee and it says neighborhood guarantee balcony, you're facing inwards. So Douglas wants to know, what is my favorite beach club in Cozumel? Nachi Kokum is pretty much it right now. I'm also a fan. I got to go there soon to try it out again. Is the Del Mar Latino Beach Club. I'd like to try them out, but Nachi is still my go-to recommendation. And for what it's worth, I'm going there in like 2 weeks, whatever that works out. I don't know how many days exactly, but when I go on my cruise in 13 more days. So we will see there. Dave E, thank you for the super chat. Can you bring checked luggage Can you bring checked luggage and USB portable blender for protein shake supplement? Oh, a USB portable blender? You're not allowed to bring appliances at all. The fact that I know you're saying it's USB powered. I didn't even know that was a thing. My expectation is they're going to see a blender. They're not going to care that it's USB or not. I'm going to assume no. I've never, to be perfectly honest with you, I have never heard specifically of anybody trying a USB portable blender. I'm not mocking it. I'm simply didn't know it was a thing. But yeah. When will drink package be available for Harmony February 24? probably sometime after the new year, Dave. Right around a year mark, I would say. Check in February 23. You'll have plenty of time to book those drink packages, reprice them, and do all those other things there. Dogs are me 100. Do you know any tips on choosing a travel agent? You always want, honestly, there's a couple of tips. Number one, you want a travel agent that charges you no change fees, service fees. Their services should cost you nothing extra. Number one. Number two, my best tip really for choosing a travel agent is you want to have good firsthand recommendations from people you trust. Like reading online reviews is great and whatnot, but it's great if you can talk to a friend, colleague, a family member who says, "Yeah, I use so and so, and they are awesome." Now, of course, this is when I shamelessly plug that we have a travel agent sponsor here at Royal Caribbean Blog, MEI Travel. They're wonderful. I use them for my own travels. I've been using them even before they were a travel agent. Before they were a sponsor, I should say. But I mean, full disclosure, they are a sponsor. They pay me to be the official sponsor. But I'm telling you, I recommend them to all my family members. So, firsthand recommendations are always super important right there. Gigi wants to know what shows are on Odyssey of the Seas. I actually just posted the cruise compass for my 8-night Odyssey of the Seas cruise on RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, Gigi. You can see the whole run. You can see what shows they are, what times they were at, all that information. You want to go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. In our main menu, there's links to cruise compasses. You'll see Odyssey of the Seas 8-night cruise from November in there for Thanksgiving. But the Effectors, Showgirls, a number of the book, lots of great shows in there. We have lots of questions, guys. I'm trying to answer as many as I can. Reeves wants to know, do you get a souvenir soda cup with the unlimited drink package? You do indeed. Lucem 968. Thank you for the super chat. Do you know if there are any Christmas offerings on 19 Days Till Wonder of the Seas? If your cruise goes, I can't do the math quickly in my head. If your cruise goes over Christmas Day, then yes, there will be special events on board. It depends on the sailing, but usually, all the ships are going to have a Christmas tree up. But you're going to have, the opportunity to meet Santa Claus. There's special activities like trivia events. There was an arts and crafts Christmas event, I remember, when we did it recently. A variety of other things as well. And of course, a special menu in the main dining room, in addition to all that. If your cruise is just in December, but doesn't actually go over Christmas, then the best you can really hope for is some Christmas decorations primarily. So, hope that makes sense. Wesley, thank you for the super chat. Thanks, Matt. First cruise with wife, Wonder of the Sea 7 days, leaving New Year's Eve. Nice. Enjoy it, my friend. You are going to love it. Ronnie, greetings from the Windjammer on Jewel of the Seas, having too much food and fun. I love hearing that. I'm extremely jealous that I'm not on a cruise, but hope you're having a great time. I've not been on Jewel since 2013. It has been a long, long time since I've been on there. Gail Force wants to know, what's the best thing to do in Charlotte Amalie St. Thomas? Go to the beach. Go to Megan's Bay. It's amazing. You'll absolutely love it. Jen Green from MEI Travel. Hello. Welcome. Wu-Tang Life. What's up, man? My friend, she wants to go as a single on Royal Caribbean for the first time. Likes to party as a millennial. What ship would she choose? Definitely a shorter cruise. The shorter sailings have more of a party vibe than the longer sailings. So like a 3-night weekend cruise would really be up her alley. Freedom of the Seas out of Miami would be a great choice. JC, hello. What is your guess as to what will replace Oasis in New Jersey when she leaves us? Boy, is better than anybody. I am a terrible guesser, like notoriously bad. I can't predict the future to save my life. But since you're asking me, I will say Symphony of the Seas, based on absolutely nothing. I know nothing. This is based on nothing. Anybody who says Matt said Symphony's coming there, I'm telling you right now, I'm literally making this up. I have no idea. But JC asked me. I wanted to give him an answer. Let's see here. Jamie, there's going to be a new round of itineraries for some Caribbean itineraries coming out later this week. I don't know exactly when, but it will be, or supposed to be, I should say, later this week. Rage Shifty, thank you for the super chat. Go on an Independence of the Seas January 2nd. Any advice on walking around Nassau? Not interested in excursions. My advice is research where you want to walk to. I think it's perfectly safe to walk around Nassau, but when you walk out of the cruise terminal area, you're going to, if you have no plan, you're going to be met with a barrage of vendors who are looking to sell you a lot of things. Let's just say it that way. My advice is you want to just say no thank you politely to all of them and be on your way and kind of get out of that main tourist thoroughfare there by the waterway. But have a plan, whether you are, pick out bars, scenic areas, what have you. just have a plan in place. I know you don't want to do an excursion, but if you just want to go like bar hopping, figure out what the first bar you're going to go to. If you're going to go see some historical sites, pick out what they are: Queen's Staircase or Fincastle, whatever. Have a plan. That's my best advice to you out there. And just be okay, be polite and be okay saying no thank you to people, if they're offering you, taxi ride or some other or hair braiding, something like that. Jeff Roberts, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I'm on Hardin November 5th. Are there options for engine room or bridge tours? There's an all access tour that you can book before your cruise, Jeff. It may not be available now because you're a little less than a year away, but check on it again a little closer to your cruise. It's called the all access tour, and they visit both those places. Carla, can I bring an extension cord for my CPAP machine? And it's still water available for purchase for the CPAP machine. You don't need to do any of those things. You don't need to pay for water for CPAP. And yes, you can bring your extension cord, but you need to do something before all this, Carla. You want to Google the Royal Caribbean Special Needs Form. So just go to Google, type in Royal Caribbean Special Needs Form. You will see a CPAP machine option. Fill that out, and they will they'll make sure you're hooked up, literally and figuratively. Take a drink of water here. Renee, the answer to your question is no word yet. M. Martin, we are 2 families traveling on Oasis soon for Adventure Ocean, different ages. Can the 5-year-old join the 6-12 group? It's up to the discretion of the Adventure Ocean staff. You can certainly ask, but it's up to them. They may say no, they may say yes. It depends on a lot of factors, but you can certainly ask. But off the bat, officially no, but they have allowed it in the past. Just depends on a variety of factors. So be okay if the answer is no. Jonathan, thank you for the super chat. No question, just sending you a thank you for your hard work. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It means a lot. Eduardo is going on Independence next weekend. Any tips for when traveling with elderly to make things easier? Great question. I don't have a ton of experience with this personally. I would probably talk with them. Number one, communication is key. Talk with them. Say, what are they looking for? What are they looking out of the cruise? Like, I love taking my parents on cruises. My parents are, I don't think they want to be referred to as elderly, but they are old enough to have retired with they're past Social Security age to retire. Let's put it that way. And my parents, their favorite thing to do is sit in the room and just relax. They just love they like being on a cruise, having food available, but otherwise just kind of hanging out in the room and just enjoying like the balcony. Like they're not the let's go do trivia and do all the activities, right? So talk to the people you're traveling with, the elderly folks, to see what expectations they have. What do they want to do? And then work around that more than anything, right? Pick good tours, short excursions for them. Obviously, if you're going to a port like maybe San Juan, Puerto Rico, which is really easy to simply walk around, maybe for them, it's not a great idea because, of course, there's mobility issues involved or not. Who knows? But you want to tackle those kinds of things. So, Joe Mock, my dude, with an epic super chat. Woo! 5 days Symphony of the Seas. Sorry, getting all choked up because it's Joe Mock. Reviewing blog posts of Symphony menu, assuming this goes fleet wide, and that's a big assumption, Joe. We don't know that yet. Will we know pre-cruise which nights are which so we can eat, especially if we don't care for the menu? No. You never know that ahead of time. Maybe best case, Joe, would be like a couple days before the cruise in the app. It loads in there, and you can start seeing the menus there. But that's about the best of it. So not to worry. You can figure it out when you get on board the ship at worst case. Let's see here. Pascal says, I shouldn't book another cruise when the 2024 Caribbean itineraries come out. What are the chances that I listen to my head? I say your best bet, Pascal, is to book refundable. That's always my favorite thing to do right there. Peter, thank you for the super chat. 2 weeks till our cruise on Mariner. I want to unplug from the world, but keep in contact with my family on board using our phones. The Voom package. I guess my best recommendation is don't bring your phone that has your work email on it. Having a phone and relaxing are not mutually exclusive. You can do both. I promise you can do both. So fear not, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. Just see, I'm going on a Royal Caribbean cruise with my friend's family. I'm 16 years old. I'm wondering if I have to sign any papers to go with the family ship without parents. Not officially, no, but it's a really good idea that you get a parent consent form. So have your friend's family Google, or you should Google it, whatever. Somebody Google it. It's called a minor's parent consent form. Basically, There's a bunch that are out there. In fact, I think Royal Caribbean has one. Just see if you want to Google Royal Caribbean minor parent consent form. Anyway, this is basically it's a pre-written letter that says that in the event of an emergency, your friend's parents can act on your behalf because they're not your parents, right? They're not your guardians. And the first thing a hospital would ask is, are you their parent or guardian? They say no, and then that's a problem. So just fill that up. But in terms of boarding the ship and enjoying the cruise, Royal Caribbean doesn't care as long as you're there with adults. But it's a good idea to have that form. And again, you can Google that and then print that out. Some people get it notarized. I don't know that you really need to do that, but you can do that. Your parents could do that if they like to. Let's see. Guys, a lot of you are asking like the deployment stuff like Northeast, Australia. We simply don't know. It will be sometime in the spring. But it's not coming out before Christmas. So that's about all we know. So I wish I had more updates for you guys, but I'll make that crystal clear for all of you. Hey, Rita Thompson. Rita, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. Rita wrote 7 days to Liberty of the Seas. So excited. Started packing things for all the expert advice. You are very welcome. Matt W says, should we buy unlimited dining for a child? If they're below the age of 12, no, you should not. There's a child rate, $10 at a restaurant. It's way better rate. So don't buy them for kids if they're under 12. Robert, thank you for the super chat. I have an ultra big ocean view and the option to rail up to junior suite, but I'm not sure I see the value in doing it. What are your thoughts? You're not even going to get double points. You're just going to the room will be larger and you'll technically be a suite. So when you check in, really what you're getting is the full-size bathtub, the walk-in closet, and the upgraded toiletries. That's really what you're paying for. I would agree, unless it's like, $10 a day or some ridiculously small fee. Sure, why not? Give it a roll. But don't go aggressive with the bidding because I feel like it's just not worthwhile. So get out now. Thank you for the super chat. Does concierge still reach out about 69 days prior to a cruise when you have an owner suite book? No, they never reach out that early, dude. More like a week early. 1 week. They do reach out early, but it's like 1 week or 5 days, not 90. That's great. Nobody reaches out that early. No. The answer is yes, but not that early. Nicole Thompson. Nicole, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you, Nicole, but thank you very much. Mike wants to know, when can Junior Suites book dinner Coastal Kitchen? This is based on availability. Once you get on board the ship, Mike. You get on board, go to Coastal Kitchen. I would just treat it like the dining package. Go there immediately and see what you can do. Jamie wants to know, up to what point can you change your name on a reservation? I believe it's 48 hours because I've done that once. My wife got sick like 3 days before the cruise and we were able to swap out names. So yeah, up to there. Rosie wants to know, do I need a passport? If you're a U.S. resident, number one, hold on a second. My recommendation is get a passport. But if you're a U.S. resident sailing on a cruise that leaves the U.S., it comes back to the same port in the U.S. So it's a cruise that goes out of Orlando, Port Canaveral, or Miami, comes back to the same port. You can cruise with just a birth certificate and state-issued ID for adults, Rosie. But my recommendation is you get a passport. It's just there's about a bazillion reasons why you should, but you can technically cruise without a passport on domestic sailings here from the U.S. So hope that makes sense. Linda, did I miss your message? I'm trying to see if I missed it. Oh, there it is. Linda. There it is. I found it, Linda. If you book a cruise and pay for it and right after receive an offer from Royal Caribbean Casino, what do you have to do in order to get the difference back? That's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you can, because initially when I was reading your question, I thought maybe you have to cancel and then rebook under the rate. I'm honestly not sure, Linda. It's a good question. I certainly think if you're past final payment date, I think you're out of luck. Worst case, if you're before final payment date, you could cancel your original reservation and then rebook. But I'm sure the follow-up is, well, I did non-refundable booking. Therein lies the problem right there. I'm not sure. That's a good question for a travel agent. Maybe someone in our chat knows what the answer is on that one. Ricky, going on. I have the limited dining package on Oasis September 23rd. Are there limitations? Can I have both lunch and dinner the same day? Yes, absolutely you can. As long as the restaurants are open, can you have 2 special meals a day? Yes. The only limitation that there is for you, my friend, is if you go to on Oasis, if you go to Playmakers or Portside Barbecue, you can go there. You can go to those restaurants once per day, and that's it per person. You cannot go, but you can go to if you want to go to Chops for lunch if they're open, assuming on a sea day, and you want to go to Wonderland or Giovanni's for dinner, you can absolutely do that. Yeah, and you can go to Playmakers for a mid afternoon snack if you'd like to. The only limitation they've added is that you just can't go to Playmakers more than once per day per person, if that makes sense. So, Jim Sharp says, "Hi Matt, met you on Odyssey last year. Your Scottish friends going on Wonder this Sunday. Nice. Andy's 60th birthday. She would love to say hi. Awesome. I will not be on Wonder of the Seas on Sunday, unfortunately. I get on board Friday and then I leave on Sunday. They kick me off the ship. By the way, before I forget, I neglected to mention, or brought it out here. Got a cool thing in the mail. Oh, I feel like Griffin Alyssa. I'm showing you guys what I got in the mail. But one of our viewers made this for me. Isn't this cool? I want to get the person's name right. I know it's Alfred, but um, Melody made this for me and sent it. How cool is that? This is handmade, and it's a nice little gift here, and it's a pillow. So how neat is that? So it was very, very thoughtful. Obviously, they just said I'd like to send you something in the mail, and I'm like, is it ticking? And they're like, no. Okay, then you can send it to me. Kind of fun. I love that. A lot of, in fact, like we're going the wrong way here. Both those lamps behind me are handmade as well by people who read RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Good friends. So that is awesome. Love that. We have such a wonderful community here. Sue Lee on board Allure of the Seas. Nice. Love it. Nicole, husband and I reserved Spot Chef's table on Brilliance. Can we request alternative menu items if they don't eat beef? Yes. You don't have to do it in advance, Nicole. When you get to the restaurant, you just let them know that. You let the waiter know. I did this. I just did Chef's table on Allure, and I don't eat shellfish or pork, and they were able to swap it out for me. No problem at all. Lisa says, can you explain why you can't book restaurants in advance of the dining package, but you can if you're purchasing individual reservations? Seems unfair. It's actually very fair. Remember, Lisa, the people that make reservations, individual reservations, are paying full price. So if you book Chops Grill in advance, you're paying like $50 ahead. Okay. When you go to Chops, the price for you is going to end up being like, I don't know, 20 or $30. I mean, you're getting a deep discount. That is the trade-off, essentially. So trust me when I tell you, it's well worth the trade-off. And all you have to do, Lisa, is when you get on board the ship, go immediately to book reservations and you will be fine. No problem at all. I know I would prefer, I know you would as well, to make the reservations. But the reason why it is fair is because the people who make reservations, if they book like more than 2 specialty restaurants, they're going to pay more than your specialty restaurant package for the entire duration of your cruise. So, yeah. Okay, sorry. The kids love playing right by my door when we're doing these live things every single time. Before this, nobody was here. After this, nobody will be here either. Let's see here. JN wants to know, what if you don't buy anything? What happens to your onboard credit? Depends on the onboard credit. Some onboard credit is refundable and some is non-refundable. So it kind of depends on which one you get. Obviously, the refundable one would be automatically refunded back to your credit card, and the non-refundable would disappear into the ether. So spend it. I kind of chuckle when people ask me about, what happens if you don't spend your onboard credit. Spending onboard credit is very easy. It's very easy to spend onboard credit. I don't think I have a problem at all. Just go to the spa. If you ever find yourself with too much onboard credit, go right to the spa. It'll disappear in about a heartbeat. So, Ambitious Alpaca. Are ships doing the Quest game show? Yes. A number, not all of them are back yet, but a number of ships have brought the Quest back. I don't know about Independence of the Seas, but I've seen it back on a number of cruise ships. So it is in the process of restarting. Sue Lee, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you. Obviously, as you guys know, super chats are not required, but I really appreciate your generosity. Thank you. Next question is from VJ. Wants to know, what's the smallest age of a child that can cruise? It depends on the itinerary. For North American cruises, 6 months is the youngest age. Some of the other itineraries, I forget, like South America or some other more exotic ones are 12 months. Transatlantics are definitely maybe higher than 12 months. It depends on the itinerary. But if you're cruising out of the U.S., it's 6 months. Let's see here. Matt wants to know. We have a lot of Matts in the chat. I like that. What price point is the key worth it? Basic, you're asking somebody who doesn't think the key is worth it at all. But I would probably, I think that there have been times in which the discount price for the key is like, a couple dollars more per day than the internet package. Then you can make the argument there. But I just don't think it's worth it. I think the key just, it sounds better on paper than it is in practice. That's my issue with the key. That a lot of the benefits sound better than they are. Number two, you can probably achieve a number of these benefits on your own with a little bit of effort or footwork, right? Um, and and I just think, and more so than that, a lot of the benefits are also very front loaded, meaning many of them are for the first day of the cruise and the first couple of hours of the cruise. And then when you get past the first day, the value diminishes greatly, in my opinion. But there are a lot of people who love the key. So, who am I to talk about it? I don't know. Next question is from Andy. Wants to know, are there WoW bans on Oasis? No, the WoW bans have not come back since the pandemic. They're not coming back. They're long gone, unfortunately. So, Badoom. Nice to see you, Smoky Bandit. Hope you're well, my friend. Jaden wants to know, is a new cruise terminal in Galveston open now? It is. Yes, I went out of there already last month. Awesome. It's arguably, Jaden, the best cruise terminal right now Royal Caribbean has. It's just amazing. Really, really good. Let's see here. Ralph, thank you for the super chat. Do I have a question from Ralph? Maybe. Maybe not. Ralph. Don't see it, but thank you for the super chat, Ralph. I do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mike Gunshow, what a great name. If that's your real name. My wife and I are introverts, and our first cruise is in 42 days in Liberty. What's the best way to get a table for two in the main dining room? Hold on a second, let me drink water. If you're in my time dining, just ask. When you walk up to the table and say, hey, there's two, say, can we please have a table by ourselves? That's super easy. If you have traditional dining, you give a sign at like 5 o'clock or 8, early dinner or late dinner, then what you want to do is there's an email address, Mike. Hold on a second. Let me get it for you. I write everything down on the blog, so I don't have to remember to the right one. Email rcldining@rccl.com 2 to 3 weeks before the cruise. So RCL, Romeo Charlie Lima dining, all one word, RCL dining@rccl.com. Send it about 2 to 3 weeks before your cruise. Put in the email your name, your reservation number, your ship you're sailing on, sail date, and which dining time you're in, traditional, early or late. So please have a table for two. And then what you want to do after that, send the email 2 3 weeks before the cruise. And then when you get on board the ship in the afternoon, right around 1 or 2 o'clock, go down to the main dining room, speak to the head waiter, and say, hey, can you just double check we have put a request in for a table for two? Want to make sure that's in there, and they should be able to acclimate or accommodate you, I should say. Ellen wants to know, are there plenty of shuttles from Houston Airport to Galveston? I don't know about shuttles, but there are plenty of taxis. I took Lyft, Ellen. It was really easy. But I would definitely have a plan ahead of time. Keith Bruce. What's up, Keith? What do you think the new dining room menu will be on all ships? Ask me next week, Keith. I'm going on Wonder on Friday, and the dining executives will be on there, and that's gonna be the first question I'm going to ask them, my friend. I mean, let's also remember, Keith, it may not go to fruition. Maybe they're not going to roll it out. Who knows? But I'll have hopefully an answer for you next week, because the answer right now is I have no clue. Ed Viro, what a great name. Thank you for the super chat. If you're on a very long cruise, can you buy more than 1 3-night dining plan? Planning an 18-night cruise. Ooh. I don't see why not. That's a great question. I've never tried it, because usually, like, I've never done an 18-night cruise. Like, on a 7 or a 10-night cruise, the unlimited dining package makes more sense financially. But I can understand why you wouldn't want to do that. So I guess the best, I don't know. Try it out. The system may not allow it, like, technically, because it's not, you're an edge case. But I don't know that I would at least give it a try, but I don't know the answer. It's a good question. I'm sorry I can't give you a better answer. Thank you for the super chat, though. I wish I could give you a better answer on that one. Andy forgot the question. We have an 8 p.m. dining slot. Will we miss out on anything, please? Now, actually, if you have, that's the late seating, Andy. If you have traditional dining, early or late, and I'm assuming you're in the late one here, you're actually, a lot of the entertainment tends to be scheduled opposite those dining times. So, there's usually 2 shows per night of a performance. You'll be able to see or at least an early show one night and a late show the other night. So you'll be able to see it one way or another. So the answer is no. You'll still be able to see the shows. Don't worry. Drake, thank you for the super chat, buddy. How does Adventure Ocean work? Do you have to reserve every slot? No, there's no reservations required. It's simply register your kids on day one, and then when they're open, you just walk up, drop off your kids, and pick them up later on before they close. That's basically it. There's on a C day, Drake, they're open from 9 a.m. to noon, 2 p.m. to 5, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's all complimentary. And then 10 p.m. to midnight, or possibly 2 a.m., it depends on the ship, will have an additional hourly cost to it. But it's pretty straightforward, Drake. When you get on board the ship, go to Adventure Ocean, register them on the first day, go at 1 o'clock. That's usually when they open. They'll answer all your questions there. But basically, you just drop them off whenever they're open. You can drop your kids off and then pick them up whenever you want. You can drop them off for 10 minutes. You can drop them off for 3 hours. It's totally your call on that one. So, Michelle's got a good question for us. I'm sailing solo. Any advice? It's a good question. A couple things and this kind of depends on who you are. Maybe you're like the most outgoing person in the world. You're a party animal. You're the life of the party. Then I think you'll be fine. But some things I would definitely recommend is I think number one, I would buy an internet package. I think it helps you to be able to talk with friends and family online if you can't talk to them. To avoid being not that you feel lonely, but you have some downtime. You want to stay in communication. I think that's important. Talk to crew members is a really good tip. The crew members, love talking to people anyway. So if you're kind of like, I'd really like to have like an actual conversation out loud, and I'm sick of talking to myself in the bathroom, talk to the crew members. They're really, really helpful. Bartenders, your stateroom attendant, they're always good for a quick conversation. So strike up conversations with them. Do a lot of activities. Trivia events are great ways to meet people. Do group shore excursions through Royal Caribbean. I would say if you're sailing solo, doing an excursion through Royal Caribbean can be a really good way to meet people because it's a group tour. You have to be together. So that can be some other good advice right there. Let's see here. Any travel agents for Caribbean cruise? I recommend MEI Travel. MEI. If you go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, there's a giant yellow form. Fill that out. They will contact you. Oh, the email address for the dining is RCL. I'll just post it in the chat. RCLdining@rccl.com. Did I copy that? Or maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. There it is. RCL. I'm going to post it here with the space so it doesn't parse it out. But RCLdining@rccl.com. 2 to 3 weeks before the cruise. Garrett says, can you tell me more about your group cruise in June? Yeah, so it's on Navigator of the Seas. I'm going to get the date. I don't remember the date off the top of my head. Navigator of the Seas out of LA, June 16th, 2023. Basically, Garrett, it's a Royal Caribbean sailing on Navigator. It's nothing special beyond that. But our group will be on board. So I'm inviting you to come sail with me. We'll have special events. Usually there's like at least one event a day for us to kind of hang out, get to know each other. Sometimes they're all social events, really easy going. You can come to as many or as few as you want to. But for more information, Garrett, on how to join the group cruise, you want to go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com/events. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com/events for that. Terry, really the advantage, the main difference between doing it online versus the computer, the app versus the computer is there's a passport scanning feature that the app has, the computer doesn't. I would recommend that for that reason alone. Also, in the app, you can go in between the different steps, and like you can do like online check-in first, get your check-in time, and then come back weeks later and do the actual passport and all that other stuff. On the website, it makes you go through the whole thing. You can't cherry pick the options there. So the app is definitely the way to go there. I think it's just it's just easier. Ellen, thank you for the super chat. How soon can you board? Also, how do you get your boarding pass when you book through Air to Sea? How soon can you board the ship kind of depends on a couple factors. Number one, when you check in for your cruise, that's your check-in time, not your boarding time. But how soon you can board the ship depends on how soon can Royal Caribbean get everybody off the ship from the first sailing, clear it, and then be ready for the next sailing. This varies wildly. I've seen sometimes where people they're ready to start boarding, 11 a.m. Sometimes later than that. It kind of depends on a lot of factors. It's hard to know in advance. And how do you get your boarding pass when you book through Air to Sea? So when you book through Air to Sea, After it's confirmed reservation, you will get from air to sea, you should get your regular airline reservation confirmation number. So then you can take the confirmation number, go to, the Delta or American Airlines or JetBlue website, drop it into your account, and you can manage your reservation that way in there. That makes sense. So, Shoshana, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Hey, Matt, do the Diamond Plus drink vouchers work for teens and the teen club? They do indeed. Yeah. So what for minors, Shoshana? Actually, I should take that back for a second. The drink vouchers work for minors. Can't promise you the teen club takes them. I've never tried it personally because I'm not a teenager. But I assume it works because it works at any other bar on board the ship. So I can't imagine it would unless there's a technical limitation there. The answer is probably. Let's see here. Charles wants to know, is Icon of the Seas coming to Galveston? If so, for when and how long? It's not been announced yet. So the answer is no. Not at this time, anyway. Kalanji, thank you for the super chat. Going on Allure this season, 13 days for a 5-day trip. How much cash do you recommend taking? Ooh, it's funny. I wrote an article about. It's not really that funny. It's just kind of. We did an article about this recently about how much cash to bring on board, and truly the answer varies. I mean, if we ask the guys, I'm just going to prove a point in chat for a 5-night cruise. How much cash would you bring on the cruise? Type it in chat. Where you're going to see Kalanji are numbers all over the place. Like, I mean, you're going to see hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. I mean, it blows your mind. So there isn't a wrong answer is what I'm trying to demonstrate here. I generally, the rule of thumb, I generally recommend, not used to, but I generally recommend, it's about $100 a day is usually a good recommendation, right? 5-day cruise, $500. You know what? That'll cover pretty much what you're going to need for really what you're using cash for are gratuities, primarily like, if you want to handle like order a drink or something like that, but really it's like off the ship stuff, right? When you're at the cruise terminal and the porters take your luggage, here's a couple of bucks there. When you're on a shore excursion, you need to use a taxi, buy a souvenir in port. I think in port is really when you use the most kind of cash. Now, the reason why this is such a hard question to answer is, well, are you going to the casino? Are you buying a ton of souvenirs in port? Some people may end up spending like $100 total for the entire cruise. But I think a couple $100 is probably a safe idea. Keeping in, by the way, you could get cash from guest services, from the ATM machine or the casino. There's a fee for both those services. You could go to an ATM in one of the ports you're visiting. There's going to be a fee there probably. But there are ways to get cash even if you don't have enough. So it's not an easy question to answer because it's such a personal question. So hopefully that helps you. Loretta, thank you for the super chat. Do other cruise ships have the same drinks as other ships? I had a Bahama Papa. I think you mean Bahama. Yes, they can make any drink, Loretta. As long as they've heard of it before, they can absolutely make it. The only exception, Loretta, are bars that have special drinks. Like if your cruise ship, Loretta, has the lime and coconut, and you're going on a ship that doesn't have the lime and coconut, no, they can't. Or, Wonderland, right? But other than that, something like a Bahama Papa or Bahama Mama, I'm sure they can as long as they've heard of it before. And if they haven't, just pull it up on your phone. Be like, oh, here's the recipe. Can you do that for us? That'd be great. Next question is from M Loves. Does Wonder These have Chromecast built in the cabins? Yes. I know Odyssey does, and Wonder came out right after Odyssey, so I'm pretty sure the answer is yes on that one. Andy, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Well, thank you, Andy. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for your generosity. Expedition Genoa. Any word on other Oasis class ships coming to Galveston besides Allure and Harmony? Nope. At this time, that's the current schedule. But again, remember, Royal Caribbean only has their schedule out for about 2, maybe 3 years in advance. That's pretty normal right there. Christopher Ortiz says, you can buy the 3-night dining package online, wait to get on board and use those 3 days, then go to any specialty restaurant and you can buy another one on board. Hope it helps. There you go. So, first tried it out, I guess. Damien wants to know, is there a new itinerary coming out of Port Canaveral? Oh no. I'll wait and see, my friend. Good question. Next question is from Dinser. If you get a 3-night dining package on a 7-day cruise, you get lunch included. You can. The dining package, it's a good question. It says 3-night. It doesn't matter if you use it for lunch or dinner. So you can use it for lunch. It's basically 3 meals you're getting. You want to use them for lunch? Great. You want to use them for dinner? Combination? No problem. But it's 3 meals. So however you want to use it, is totally fine. Ken, I do actually tomorrow's video is about this, but basically, if you're selling from the U.S., there's no vaccine requirements at all. There's only a handful of there's a few exceptions left about the vaccines, but if you're as long as your cruise doesn't visit Colombia and or your cruise is not from Australia, then there's no vaccine requirements currently. And I think transatlantics, but we're past transatlantic season, so that doesn't even matter at this point. Anyway, tomorrow's video, Ken, I'm gonna have a whole video about this because we're gonna talk about is cruising back to normal again, and we're gonna talk about that right there. Detroit Spartan, my friend, dealing with Royal Caribbean is a pain. Never been on the phone so long in my life. This, and I'm sorry for your experience. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you use a travel agent. I never call Royal Caribbean. Actually, not true. I only call Royal Caribbean once if I'm buying a drink package and my wife doesn't want one. But I never deal with this. This is like reason number 8 million why I don't use a travel. I'm sorry, why I use a travel agent. If you use a travel agent, you don't do it. You know, people say, oh, I can book the cruise. I can get the same deals. I can do it. I can manage it all myself. Yeah, but your time. It's not necessarily about the dollars and cents you may or may not save. About your time, and your time is worth something to you. And right now, with Detroit Spartan, I'm betting be willing to trade that back. I say, please manage the reservation. By the way, Detroit Spartan, if you booked your cruise within the last 30 days, you can still move your reservation to a travel agent. But if you didn't, sorry. Next time you book a cruise, book with a travel agent, a good travel agent, and they can definitely make sure they're the ones waiting on hold and not you. Maryland says just obtained diamond status. Congratulations. Is it true that diamond members no longer get priority embarkation? Correct. If you want that, you have to purchase the key. No. I mean, yeah, but Maryland, let me be perfectly honest with you. I'm a Diamond Plus member. It's really not a big deal. The boarding process is pretty quick these days. Yes, there's no they don't group you in the terminal by your crown and anchor status. But I would never buy the key just for that. Because you got to buy for the whole cruise, not for just the one day. You'll be fine. Trust me when I tell you, as a Diamond Plus member who used to cruise as a Diamond Plus member, when there was that benefit, and we'll talk about this in tomorrow's video as well, I would not buy the key specifically for that reason. But yes, what you've heard is correct, but I wouldn't buy the key just for that. You'll get on board the ship plenty fine. Just get an early check-in time. You know, check in for your cruise 45 days beforehand. Get one of those early check-in times, Maryland. You'll be on the cruise very, very quickly. You'll have no problems at all. Drake again with a super chat. Thank you, Drake, for the super chat. I'm going on Oasis in 5 days. On the app, it says Aqua 80s is sold out. Did I miss the time to reserve it, or will it open on embarkation day? It may be sold out already, but obviously keep checking back, number one. Number two, when you get on board the ship, first thing you want to do, Drake, is log on to the Royal Caribbean Wi-Fi and see if you can make a reservation there. And of course, number three is there will always be standby seats available. So not to say you won't have a chance to see the show. You may have to simply wait for in line for the standby seats, which usually works pretty well. Elvira with another question. Thank you again for the super chat, Elvira. Wife is very sensitive to strong cleanser smells. Who can I contact at Royal Caribbean to ask them not to use cleansers when preparing our cabin for embarkation? That's a good question. I don't know. I would probably fall back to, as a general catch-all, the Royal Caribbean Special Needs Form. So, Elvira, Google Royal Caribbean Special Needs Form. And hopefully there's an open chat feature over there, or open text box you can fill out and talk to them about that. They don't usually use it. I mean, I'm not sensitive, obviously, to it, but I don't like walk in like, oh, this smells like bleach, or this smells like Lysol, as an example. They usually don't use those kinds of things. They vacuum. They'll do things like, but I don't recall smelling it, but obviously your wife is more sensitive than I am. So I don't think it'll be, and I have friends who I know for a fact have that or similar issue. I don't think they've ever reported that particular issue. But anyway, the special needs form is probably the way to go. So at least go start there and work your way up. Get a drink of water here. I just saw in the chat now all the people who say how much cash you should bring. And this is why when people say how much cash should I bring, look at this. I mean, you got all, and these, no one's wrong here. 200, 1,000, 3,000, 250, 100, 200, 1,000, 500, 550, not 500. That's too little. 200, 100. I mean, this is why when I asked that question, you guys proved the point. So thank you. It's all over the place. Justin says, I just booked my first roller coaster cruise on Black Friday. Hey, nice. What makes Royal Caribbean stand out compared to other lines? Great question. I always thought Royal Caribbean, number one, I think they're an industry leader. There's a lot of cruise lines that are out there. I truly, and I'm a fan, so I'm a little biased, I'm very biased, but I really believe Royal Caribbean is at the forefront of innovation in the cruise industry. I think they are the leaders in that compared to other cruise lines that are more just like, oh, they're doing that. Well, I guess we'll do something similar to that kind of thing. Number one. Number two, I think their value has always been really good. There are other cruise lines that are cheaper, but you don't get as much as Royal Caribbean. There are other cruise lines that cost more than Royal Caribbean, or give you more than Royal Caribbean, I should say, but they're going to cost you a lot more. I always thought Royal Caribbean was right in that sweet spot. I always like that. And it's a family cruise line as well, which is really, really nice. Easily, it's good to see you here. Is Portside Barbecue open on a Wasteland embarkation day? I believe it is. You can check a you can check a past cruise compass for that, but I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. $1 million. Yes, please do not bring $1 million in cash on a cruise ship. Just a little friendly reminder there. Eric, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message, but thank you. Don't see one, but thank you. Thank you. I don't know what else to say. Tony Diaz, thank you for everything you do. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it, buddy. See you in less than 2 weeks. Robin, do you ever cruise on different cruise lines? I have not cruised on different cruise lines since 2012. I think we will eventually. And I think, I don't know if it'll happen in 23, but I'd like to. I'd like to start just, it's more market research more than anything. We also have, if you guys don't know this, in addition to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, we have another website called Cruise Blog, cruise.blog. We have a YouTube channel there. You can check out some videos that we do over there, cruise.blog. Anyway, now my staff works over there. I rarely, if ever, write anything on that site. But I would like to at least, try celebrity cruises, because it's not that I want to I'm done with Royal Caribbean, I want to cruise another cruise line. It's that I want to see how they compare to Royal Caribbean. I think it's important to be able to compare and contrast. And it's a big market out there, and there's a lot of lines. So I'd like to, but I've not been on another cruise line since 2012. So, I think before the pandemic, I had aspirations to do so. And then obviously that didn't happen. But now that, doing this full time, I think it's the timing might be good on that. Bills or Chiefs? Oh, I got to go with Bills. I have a good friend who would absolutely murder me if I said the Chiefs. So I'm going to go for my own safety. I will say the Buffalo Bills. Let's see here. Debbie. I used a travel agent. My brother did not. We're cruising together. Our agent said that she cannot get our main dining room dining connected. What to do? Link your reservations. So basically, this is what you got to do. And your brother, slap him upside the head next time you see him. Tell your travel agent to link your reservation to them, your brother. Then you have to tell your brother to call Royal Caribbean and link his reservation to you. All you need is the reservation numbers and their last names, and that should all you need to do. That'll be, I think that's the magic sauce. Basically, what your travel agent is saying is they can't do that for you, to obviously on your brother's side. But if you do that, that should do the trick, I believe. Ron Ladowski. Thank you, Ron, for the super chat. Thank you for letting Tony Diaz comment. Blah, blah, blah. Nice. I love it. Oh, goodness. ST, as a platinum member, one of the perks is discounts or coupons on drinks. Do you know how that works when ordering a drink? Yeah. There's no actual printed coupon. Back in the day, years ago, there actually was a printed coupon, but now there's no coupons. All you have to do, ST, is when you order the drink, say, I'd like to get a Heineken, and can you please use my my Crown and Anchor discount for that? And they'll and you'll be all set. You have to ask for it. If you don't ask for it, it won't be applied. But if you ask for it, you're good to go on there. Wesley, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Is it acceptable for men to run the ship's track shirtless? Yes. Not trying to be a hunk of iron, just more comfortable with me. Yeah, I've seen plenty of guys doing that, so I don't think that'll be a problem at all. Razor Ray, if you were on the Wonder right now, where would I be? What time is it? And it's a little early for the casino. Mason Jar Bar, Ray. I'd be at the Mason Jar listening to the country trio, requesting Taylor Swift, having my peanut butter and jelly old fashioned, noshing on a the cornbread. Oh, I'll be doing that on Friday. Can't wait. Eric. Thank you. I think again, Eric, for the super chat. We're cruising on a Wonder next Sunday. Are you going to be on that sailing? No, I get off the ship on Sunday. I get on Friday and get off on Sunday. 2-night cruise. So, and then I'm going back on board the next Sunday. I'll miss you by one sailing, my friend. But yeah. Yeah, I do. I don't remember that at all, Smoky Bandit, the cat. But again, if you're sensitive to it, it's a different story. But I really don't recall that smell at all. I just remember it smelling like Royal Caribbean, quite frankly. Mofo, you are very welcome. Ellen wants to know, do you have to have prescriptions in labeled bottles? What about insulin? I don't believe so. I don't think Royal Caribbean cares. I mean, the only issue you might run into, and I can't imagine this would be a scenario, is that, you brought your prescription medicine off the ship in a port somewhere and a local authority questioned you on it. But in your cabin, it's not a problem at all. I don't think you'll have a problem with that. I'm also not a DEA agent. I'm not an authority figure on that, but I don't recall that being an issue. Reeves also, what am I most excited for on Icon of the Seas? Ooh, well, it's a hard question because we don't yet know everything about the ship. But what we do know, I think the Hideaway. I really want to spend some time in the Hideaway and relax. It seems like an awesome, awesome area. Tim, thank you for the super chat. Taking my mom on a cruise, and she's very specific dietary requirements. I've already emailed the Royal Caribbean, wondering if she can eat, especially or only main dining room. The answer is both. It really depends on the Royal Caribbean is really good about dining. Dietary requirements. The good news is they're very good about it. Again, Tim, I've said this like 3 times in this video, but it's really important for you as well. Special needs form. Google Royal Caribbean special needs form. There are certain things they can handle off the bat. You don't need a special request, but they'll let you know in that form, what it is, and you can let them know. So, Google Royal Caribbean special needs form, and you're good to go. Let's see here. Josh says I'm correct about how to link the reservations. Back there. What is my go-to song for karaoke? You've Lost That Love and Feeling. Mark says I'll be joining Matt, but Mississippi Moonlight for me. I didn't love that drink. I mean, it's not a bad drink. It just wasn't like a Matt drink, frankly. Now the old fashioned, I could drink those all day long. Ralph, thank you for the super chat. Going on Harmony of the Seas honeymoon. Do we both buy Voom? Sure. I mean, it depends on you. Quite frankly, I don't know why I said it like this. I mean, you could buy one and then share the package, right? And like, I don't know what your question is. Like, are you asking like, do you buy two one device packages or 1 2-device package? The 2-device package should be cheaper compared to buying 2 1-device packages. But if your question is like, should we both get the internet or not? Both want to be online. Good question. I would say you should both get it. I mean, I think in this day and age, being online is pretty much expectation. I'm not talking about work. I'm just talking about like just being able to talk to family and whatnot, especially right after the wedding. If your cruise is after the wedding, there's a lot of like, things to discuss with family members. So up to you though. There isn't a right or wrong answer with that one. But I would say probably don't want to start off your marriage on fighting over the internet package. So pick your fights there. Get your wife an internet package. Let's see here. The Boom Team wants to know, what food would you recommend for a Christmas dinner in the dining room? Would they have a special menu for the dining rooms? They'll have turkey, they'll have ham. Oh, get it all. There's a special section just for Christmas food. Order one of everything. Give it a try right there. Ellen, thank you for the super chat. Para character bowing down, saying thank you. Well, thank you, Ellen. I really appreciate your generosity. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's see. We have time for another question, you guys. I'm gonna run out. We're also an hour already, which is crazy. Mark wants to know, We're going on a cruise. We picked the 8 p.m. dining time. Can we, should we change that for a show? No. I mean, it's just late dinner, but as I said earlier, the show schedules are actually programmed, in my opinion, around the traditional dining, early or late. So you'll be able to see the shows. Don't worry about that. There'll be early shows that you'll be able to see, or even a late show, but you'll be good on that. Not to worry. Veronica says, "Hi Matt, love your chat. I'm back on Anthem January 2nd. I made it up to Diamond Plus after last cruise. Woohoo! Congratulations. My Idaho life. Thank you for the super chat. Heading out on Oasis this Sunday for the second cruise ever. Take my mother-in-law and one recommendation for where she can hang out and watch the rest of us crazies do the water slides. Oh, there's actually some chairs right by the exit of the water slides. Now it depends on which side you're doing, because then you go on one end of the one side or the other side of the ship. But there's chairs right there, so pick one that's open. You'll be good to go. Modern, and thank you for the generosity, by the way. Modern myths. Best dessert you've ever had on which ship? I think it's the fried cheesecake at 150 Central Park. I think that. I mean that, and there's probably three in my mind that come to mind. Fried cheesecake one at 150 Central Park, the Brookie at Portside Barbecue on Oasis of the Seas, and the campfire cookie at Playmakers are phenomenal. But take your pick right there. They're all. I think I got to give the edge to the fried cheesecake though. That is really good, really really good. Sue, does Oasis have Starlink? Yes. Sedestro, did I get that right yet? Sedecastro. What is the average length for a refund? Took your advice and canceled an excursion and booked it on sale. So usually it's 3 to 5 days. I know a lot of people have mentioned since Black Friday they've been a little backlogged, so it might take like closer to like 2 weeks or something like that. But you'll get it. Not to worry, my friend. But you did the right thing. I'm telling you right now. You'll definitely the way to go about it. Detroit Spartan, thank you for the super chat. Any advice on casino points? I accumulated 13,000 points on Harmony in November. Wow. You won 13,000 points in one sailing? My goodness. Is there a limit to the perks? No, you're sitting pretty, my friend. So really what you want to do is you want to go after this video, you want to Google Royal Caribbean Casino Royale, and you'll get there's a PDF document you'll find there, the benefits, and they're significant. Free drinks, cruises, discounts, internet packages. It's pretty darn good. But if you got 13,000 points in one cruise, you, sir or madam, I shouldn't assume gender, you spent a pretty penny on board the ship. You weren't putting $20 into the slot machine. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say that. So more power to you. I am impressed, because I thought I was impressive when I got 500 points on one cruise. But you got 13,000. Awesome, dude. But yeah, Casino Royale, they have a whole benefit list that you can check out over there. Craig, you are very welcome, my friend. You're gonna have an awesome time on Navigator. It's a great ship, great ship. And our last question of today is from by the way, this is not the question, but I just wanted to give Jonathan asked. I was able to reprice several excursions and photo packages last week, got my refund in 3 days. So it all depends on banks and all that stuff there. Benjamin is our last question of the day, guys. Does Royal Caribbean do anything special over Christmas, selling an Anthem of the Seas from the 18th to 26th? And wondering if the ship will be decorated for the holiday? Yes. And if they do special Christmas events? Yes. Because your cruise goes over Christmas, there will be a tree. And more importantly, on Christmas Day, there will be a special menu in the main dining room. There'll be activities throughout the cruise. Look at the cruise compass. You will see things like being able to meet Santa Claus, a gift exchange, arts and crafts projects for the kids or adults, trivia events. There'll be a slew of activities. Christmas caroling is also an activity on there. So check your cruise compass. I can't definitively tell you what it'll be on your sailing, but there will be activities on your ship almost certainly. So I think you're good to go on that. Dave E, thank you, Dave, for the super chat. A thumbs up hand gesturing with the words top. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Thank you. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I need to head on out of here. Thank you so much for joining us here. We'll be back again next Monday right here on YouTube, and I'll be on Wonder of the Seas beginning on Friday. Maybe we'll do a live. I don't know. Doing a live on the ship is always more of a... I say it's a pain, not because of you guys. I love doing the lives. It's just technically it's a pain because the internet never works as well as at home. I get frustrated with it. Anyway, we'll see what we can do on that. But thank you all for joining us here. If I did not answer your question or you want to know more about Royal Caribbean, check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Plenty more over there. I also want to say thank you to all of our super chatters today. Before we get going, I'm going to say thank you to our super chatters again. Dave E, thank you. Detroit Spartan, thank you. My Idaho Life, thank you. Ellen, thank you. Ralph Colvin, thank you. Tim, thank you. Eric RN, thank you. Wesley, thank you. Ron Ladowski, thank you. Tony Diaz, thank you. Eric RN, thank you again. Ainsley, thank you. Edvira, thank you. Drake, thank you. Andy, thank you. Loretta, thank you. Kalanji, thank you. Shoshana, thank you. Ellen, again, thank you so much. Drake, thank you again. Edvira, thank you again. Mike Gunshow, thank you. Ralph, thank you. Sue Lee, thank you. Linda, thank you. Nicole Thornton, thank you. Get Out Now, thank you. Robert Murphy, thank you. Rita Thompson, thank you. Peter Rosenberg, thank you. Joe Mock, thank you. Jonathan Pace, thank you. Jeff Roberts, thank you. Rage Shifty, thank you. Wesley, thank you again. Dave E, thank you. Wesley, thank you again. Jeff Leonard, thank you so much. Josh Carruthers, thank you so much. Joe Shalosky, thank you. GM Carilla, thank you. And Shay and Jay, thank you all. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun. That's always important. We'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.